Is life actually harder today?
Chalozy.
And welcome to Come On Over. What is Come On Over? Come On Over is a space where regular people come together for real talk.
And real answers.
All right, I'm El Sela, your host.
I'm JB.
And thanks for stopping by. So the question that we're posing today, is life actually harder today? I want to know your thoughts, and I want to know your thoughts. What do you think?
Is life harder today? Well, I suppose it's probably harder for some, and for some people might say, oh no, but I gotta say, it's a little bit better. Prices.
Prices are not
gas
better.
prices.
Gas prices are definitely not better today.
Right.
Yeah. So now I see online, and I know that you guys see it too, and I'm sure you've seen it too, where people are kind of questioning, right? You know, I don't want to be in this timeline, or I don't like this timeline. So I really got to thinking, is it really harder today than it was before?
How far are we going back?
Well, I was going to say, for people like us, I would say no.
Right, I would say no too.
Life is not harder today.
That's right.
Just, for example, I was telling you, we always want to bring what we were talking about at the kitchen table into the garage when we do a show, right?
Right.
And a friend of mine had said how that they wish that they could just maybe go back in time. And I was like, oh, I wouldn't want to.
I wouldn't want that either.
Well, I don't think that she was thinking.
Right.
For someone like me, well, when back in time are we going?
That's right.
Right? Because, if
I'm getting whipped.
Right? Right. Am I in the field?
Right.
It's like, when I told her, I think I made her very uncomfortable. Right. I said, I don't know that I was attracted enough to be a house slave.
Right.
Like, so, I mean, like, how far do you want to go back? For people like us, our perspective may be just a little bit
That's
different.
right. I agree.
Yeah. So, no, but life is hard. Right now, as we record this show, unless you're living under a rock, our country's at war. Prices are high. People are getting shut out of homes they can't afford. But I still wonder, is it really harder, or is it just different?
I think it's different.
Right.
I do. I would say it's different.
I got to thinking about, like, for example, and I'm going to stick with U.S. history.
Okay.
Because I've never lived anywhere else. So, but, you think about it, in this country, slavery ended in 1865. Okay? In the civil rights, the turning point was 1968. These dates are not that far. The 1968, that is not that far from us. So I always like to think of the ancestors. What did they go through?
Oh, man.
What did they go through?
68, that's when Martin Luther got killed.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that it's necessarily harder. It's just different.
I agree.
It's just different.
Yes.
I think about where we are right now. For example, did you guys know, and did you know, that women, right, could not have business ownership without a man co-signing on until the Women's Business Ownership Act of 1988.
No, I didn't.
1988.
1988.
I graduated in 88.
Wow. I got arrested in 1988. No doubt.
Actually, no, I wouldn't call it arrested. I didn't get in trouble for underage drinking, though.
Oh.
In 1988.
I was only there for a night, though. I don't want to make it seem
I didn't go in anywhere. Yeah. No, I got a talking to.
I was in Jersey.
Yeah.
So I wasn't around here.
But, I mean, that's not that far off. That if I wanted to have a business, like, I would have to have a man co-sign for me.
Wow.
So...
you're right though. That's not too far. I mean, 38 years?
Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think life is actually harder today than it was maybe for your parents, or maybe for your grandparents, or even going back further? I'm going to say it again. I think it's just different. Yeah. I think
it's harder to get your kids to do shit.
Well, I don't know. I've got great kids.
Well, I'm just saying, because the computer and stuff.
Yes.
The things we did when we were little.
Yes.
We would go outside, we'd make up our own games. They don't do things like that. So, but I guess it's easy in their mind.
I mean, I feel like people need to make their kids do these things.
Yes.
They could do these things.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
And if you're the type of parent, and you're letting your kid just be on a screen all the
That's
time,
right.
You're not doing your kid any favors.
No.
So, yeah. And I think, too, it would be harder now to get away with things. Like, we could just disappear.
That's right.
I mean, on the one hand, that was bad because if you really got disappeared,
Yeah.
like nobody could find you.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know, that was when the milk cartons came up, remember?
Yeah. I remember saying, I'm going to run away, and my grandmother said, bye.
Yeah, yeah.
And I started walking. This was in
And you
Buffalo.
left.
I left.
Yeah.
I was walking down the street in Buffalo at 5.
Yeah. I mean, people think that everything's like, you know, there's more crime and it's more dangerous. No, things were bad back then,
They
too.
were.
Maybe you didn't have Facebook
That's
or
right.
Instagram to go look at it.
That's right.
But things were
That's
bad.
true.
I mean, you know how bad it is when they're putting kids' faces on milk cartons because so many kids were getting snatched. I mean, that's bad.
That is bad.
So that was pretty bad. That was just in my generation.
And we
The
used to
80s.
get, like, paddling.
We used to get beat. Let's be
Teachers were allowed to.
Yes,
I mean,
they had special rooms.
They did.
And special paddles. And some of y'all think we should bring it back.
Hmm.
But I'm going to tell you right now, it didn't do anything for me.
Me neither.
I could have cared less if I got paddled at school. Because a lot of us kids in our age groups, man, we grew up way harder than that at home.
I know. The only time I like getting paddled is when I.
You liked it?
Oh, well, no.
That's a different show.
Oh, no. Let me,
That's a
like.
different show.
Let me rewind. I didn't like it, but I knew if I got paddled, I'd go home and tell my grandmother.
Oh,
she'd come to that school and she said, "Where's she at?" She'd be like,
Well, I hear a lot of teachers these days, they say that part of the problem is the parenting, though. They can't discipline.
Apparently.
Yeah. Oh, we're having trouble disciplining the kids because
Yes.
the parents keep, taking up for them.
really?
Yes. But you know what? Parents did the same when we were growing up too.
That's right.
So
That's right.
They did the same when we were growing up.
They did.
I mean, and things are complicated. I know that for a lot of us, we can get overwhelmed. When we are looking at the fact that our country's in another war. If you're trying to buy a house, how difficult that can be with the cost of how everything is. And now gas prices are climbing. Grocery prices. I don't care what anybody says, and I don't care what anybody who never even goes to the grocery store tries to tell you.
That's right.
Grocery prices are higher.
That's right.
They are. So yeah, it is difficult. It is difficult right now. But I don't know if it's harder.
Right.
I'm still not there if it's harder. I think about, it wasn't that long ago that somebody like me, as a woman of color, I wouldn't be able to get a loan. I wouldn't be able to have credit cards, even as just a regular woman without a husband, right? I wouldn't be able to, like I said, get a loan for a business. I wouldn't be able to get a home loan. So,
Home Alone.
so yeah, some things have changed.
Gas prices are so high. Somebody I know said they're so high they make them want to have sex with the bus driver.
Oh, well, I know somebody had, I think it was some kind of international group that was telling people, and maybe you guys have seen this too, they're telling you, if you can't obviously afford to get a hybrid car or a plug-in, use public transportation, right? Or see if you can work from home. Right? Or, of course, walk places, to try to save some gas.
Yeah.
But I remember growing up, how many of you out there grew up in the 70s, or you were already maybe adults in the 70s, or, I remember the grown people talking about the gas prices and how bad they were. Remember?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I was always in grown folks.
And they weren't even bad when you think about it.
Well,
that back then.
They were bad,
Yeah.
but this is historically getting higher really fast.
But they wish they had those prices now.
Probably. I know, we wish we had those prices now.
Yeah.
But they had back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember you could go to the store for going to the store.
I went to the store.
And your parents could write a note.
Yes. We could buy cigarettes.
You'd be like 9 years old,
Yeah.
say, "Here's a note."
I'd hand over a note for, his mom's cigarettes. Nobody cared.
No, nobody cared.
No, things were a lot different.
Yes, they were.
Things were a lot different. So as far as harder is concerned, there are things that are harder. I really feel for, up and coming generations, like how do they get into the home ownership, right?
Yeah.
And somebody is smarter than me. Yeah, that's harder for them. Even if I want to go buy a house right now, they're too expensive. They're way too expensive. I probably wouldn't be able to buy. So things like that are definitely harder right now than they've ever been. So, but I don't know. And I just think that for me, I think about those things, right? But I also think about the morality of people. I don't know. Things have gotten better. than they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I need people who are kind of like down in the dumps to kind of think about this for a minute.
Yeah.
We talked that, on one show, that everything is kind of related to politics and people should pay attention, right? From prices of things to laws that are passed. But it also comes down to morality.
Yes.
And I don't think that people should lose sight of morality. So
I agree.
I think about how people made excuses to enslave others because they said, well, it was, they were using the Bible to enslave people, right?
Yeah.
But it took people with better morality than that, right, to make a difference. It
Yes.
wasn't politicians that made the difference at first. It was the abolitionists, right? Right? Regular people.
Regular people.
Standing up for what's right, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that the morality of people is better, maybe, today than it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody, not to cut you off, about, remember we were talking in the living room, the dining room, about people like complaining, that really don't have a reason to complain. You know what I mean? It's like, could be a lot worse.
Yeah, and I know that like psychiatrists and everybody will say, you should never say that to somebody, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But it could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why.
Saying we're old. And
well,
like I said, we're old to somebody 30, but we're young to somebody 90.
Right. It's perspective.
That's right.
It is perspective.
That's right.
And I know that it's discouraging,
Yes.
what we see that's happening. But, and I keep thinking, again, we live in a country where, unfortunately, the minority can have power.
They
right?
got the power!
Right?
Yeah.
And I know that the majority has a better morality. They have better morality than what we're saying.
They do.
They really do.
They definitely do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that. that. And this just reminds me, like, social media, because go back. Back in the day, maybe you didn't know, like, what your neighbors really thought about things, right? Because you didn't have an inside view. Like, they might be like, oh, hi, Jan, and be really nice to your face.
Wow.
But now, with social media, we can find out,
That's
right? Like, what
my
people
neighbor's
really
name is Jan.
I don't think it is. Is it?
Yes.
Oh, not you, Jan. This neighbor.
That's crazy.
Not you, Jan.
Yeah, that's funny though.
No.
Yeah.
No, but with social media these days.
Yes.
And here's a hot tip. And do you know this? If you're commenting on a public page, and just so y'all know, your Facebook friends, they can see what you're saying. Okay.
What?
Yeah. So, back in the day,
wow.
Your neighbors might act like they're such great people and they go to church and stuff like that, and you won't really know what they think behind closed doors.
That's true.
Well, nowadays, since everybody puts their business out on social media, you can. So, again, it's morality. To me, I think that is something that people need to start focusing on a little bit more.
They can read.
He's like, what? He's like, wait, what?
Wait a minute now.
Yeah. I get really... I think it's kind of funny because, not funny, haha, but just like, because of social media, I think is where we are, like why we have a lot of the problems that we do, right? And I know, for example, some people who like, they like go to church and act like, I'm so into church and, Christ and God and all this and that. But I can see their comments, like when they're posting on things,
That's right.
And yeah, that isn't Christ-like. Some of the stuff that I see.
Right.
They're taking joy in other people's suffering. So, again, I question, the morality of some, and I think that the majority of people have better morals than the minority of people.
Do they know you can see that, though?
Probably not.
Because I was going to say, they probably don't know.
They probably don't.
Because they'll be posting like, oh, I was at the strip club.
Well, it's like when they go, for example, like some people go on, certain news pages, and when they make comments. These are public pages, people. So you can see your comment. So when you're telling somebody, hey, I'm just, I just go to church and I love Jesus,
That's
blah, 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 blah.
right.
But then I see you celebrating, human suffering, maybe somebody being killed or something like that. What is that? That is a lack of morals. That is, to me, a complete lack of morals. right? And this is why I still think, though, even though we have that today, morality is still better today than it used to be.
Absolutely.
It used to be people had no problem making other people suffer, enslaving them, using them, right, in any which way they can, to get ahead, or just to be cruel. But so I do think it is better, because the majority is better these days.
Right.
So I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's harder.
Yeah, it's different.
It's just different,
yes.
right? It's just different.
Yes. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's harder either. Yeah. But it is different. That we know.
It is different. I don't think it's harder. I mean, like honestly, we can, like, if we're cold, we can turn up the furnace, right? Or if we're hot, we can run our AC. You know, it's like we were talking about people back in the day, like, oh man, they had to chop stuff and like they'd be wrapped in furs and get the wagon out and travel like all these places. They get places that take like 3 days to get to one town, and I don't know that it's harder.
It's harder to get beat up by a cop. Because people might be filming.
They're filming, versus the things that people got away with back in the day. That's a thought. No, but that is a thought, right? It is harder because that was commonplace.
That's right.
Yeah, now everybody's got their phone out and they're filming. Because people with better morals are filming it. Yeah. Because they don't want things like that to be hidden anymore, right? So that's why I think morality is a little bit better these days.
Yes.
Yeah. I do. I really do. And so when you're feeling a little bit down, and you're thinking, things are going really bad, you just kind of remember the minority cheers suffering. Okay? It's not the majority. It's the minority that cheers this. I know you're not a Game of Thrones fan. Where's my Game of Thrones people at, right? I know you've never watched it.
Never did.
It's one of the biggest shows ever.
I know.
In history.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a huge fan. If anybody wants to hit me up, I could talk a song of Ice and Fire all day. Right? So, and spoilers, the show has been over, since 2019? But if you're watching it, haven't watched it, or you're maybe about to finish it, mute me. So something happens in the show, or one of the most important characters in the show, she's upset because people didn't love her. Okay? She wanted to rule over everybody. Wow. Then people didn't love her. Like they loved, the man she was in love with. They wanted him to be the king, and she wanted to be the queen. Wow. And she had some dragons. And so since they didn't love her, because, she was sad, she lost some things. She lost her dragons, and she lost her best friend and all. She burned up a city of innocent people. And there were people online. He's like, I agree with that. Wow. Yeah, she should have. They hurt her feelings. She lost some things. She should have burned them all up. And so I feel like those people might be the people they're the ones that would have enslaved people, right? Because they don't have the right kind of morality.
Wow, they said that?
Yeah, oh yeah, there was a huge, people that thought that this is what should have been done to these innocent people, children, because, she got her feelings hurt. Aww. Okay, I don't know. What's wrong with people? Yeah. This is, again, there are still people out there, yes, who have those type of morals that would be totally okay with somebody destroying an entire city and burning it up because, they think that that's a good thing. What? But they're the minority. Wow. They're the minority.
Now, if you want to talk Soul Train.
I love Soul Train.
Oh.
All right, Don Cornelius.
Right, Don Cornelius.
Right.
The Soul Train.
So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think that things are harder.
Right, just different. Ooh, I'm starting to love that phrase.
Yes, yeah, because that's how I really feel. I've been thinking about this for quite a bit. Right. Yeah, and I know a lot of you that are out there. I know, you feel like things are really difficult right now, and you're struggling, and you're not sure. Sometimes you just want to tap out, not tap out, but just kind of pull back and away from people. Don't. Find each other, and find each other who can lift you up and support you. So, because we're here. We're here. Okay?
And we love you!
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, thinking about things being harder, even simple things were harder back in the day. Just what happens if you, back in the day, you got, really drunk? Right?
Yeah, right.
And you just had to deal with it, try to get up on your horse and go places.
Yeah.
So we got to thinking, nowadays they make amazing products. Even something as simple as having too much to drink.
That's right.
It's easier.
Back then they didn't really have anything for
No. black coffee,
Yeah.
water in the canteen,
Right.
or just more liquor.
That's right. What do they call it? Hair of the dog?
Hair of the dog, hair of the dog. So, but nowadays, there's amazing new products, and we actually have one for you.
That's right.
Stay tuned.
Are you tired of waking up with a hangover? Are you tired of throwing up and getting sick every time you have like 10 or 12 drinks a night? Well, you don't have to anymore. Drink your life away. It's the best product. Listen to some of our customer reviews.
At Drink Your Life Away, we have real customers. Right now, I'd like to introduce you to one and get some real feedback. Come on in, Ernie. Ernie, what do you love about Drink Your Life Away?
Drink your life away was the best thing I ever had in my life. I mean, I took Drink Your Life Away, and it worked. However, I ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks, right afterward. But that was from my hepatitis.
That's right, it had nothing to do with Drink Your Life Away.
But drink... But Drink Your Life Away works every time. So you can have those 10 to 12 drinks.
Is that how many drinks you've had, Ernie?
I've had about 15 myself.
Oh, see? And how do you feel the next morning?
I feel incredible.
All right. Drink Your Life Away.
Drink your life away.
Make sure to get yours today.
That's right. Bobby Brown.
See, things are easier today. You can get drunk and like drink like 15 drinks and like take some Drink Your Life Away and
Take some Drink Your Life Away.
You feel like perfectly fine the next day.
Perfectly fine.
All right, before we go, I want to end this episode with some hope. Right? We used to start the episode with hope, but I want to do it at the end.
Okay.
Right? Because I want to make sure that anybody who tunes in, that you don't give up on hope.
No, you
Yeah.
can't.
And you don't have anybody to steal from.
I know.
So, what's your hope? Like, what do you feel? Like, what is giving you hope?
Well, drink your life away. No. What's giving me hope? Oh, here we go again. That's such a tough one for me. Why do I struggle with hope?
A lot of people struggle with hope.
I mean,
that is natural.
Is it?
That is natural.
Every time we do it, though, I mean, I always hope I can get through it. But I have a I just hope the world... Oh, no, don't let me comment. I was going to be corny.
Do you guys struggle as bad as he does?
I mean,
Put it in the comments.
it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be hard. I'll be honest, I've kind of pulled back from the show a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working a lot. And it's not that I didn't have hope, I just needed to go quiet. But like sometimes we all need to just go quiet.
I agree.
Right? And just kind of think about things.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have hope. I have so much hope, actually. Because I cannot read the news or pick up a story or go out in public and not see it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you right now, like for every atrocity we might have seen, in the last 6 months,
mm-hmm.
there were good people who stood up and defended others. Regular, everyday people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That gives me hope. Because it's always regular, everyday people
mm-hmm.
who stand up for what's right and like try to tramp down like injustice against others. I love that.
Me too.
And that gives me hope.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. He just couldn't get it out.
I just
right?
couldn't get it out.
And I see kindness every day.
Yeah.
Right? Every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the store to buy our drinks. I don't really like going to the store. Right? And every single time, for like the last 3 times in a row, complete strangers would be like, oh, you go ahead of me. You go ahead of me. So there's just kindness everywhere.
Yeah.
I see people on the news interviewing people and they make it seem like, all of us in this country, all we care about is gas prices.
Yeah.
That's not true, right?
Right.
Most of us are compassionate human beings and we care about the suffering of others. Mm-hmm. And what gives me hope is, when I watch people suffering and just regular, everyday people, they're helping them. Mm-hmm. They're standing up for them. This has been happening in the past. It's always happened. They put their own lives in the way and at risk to help others. Mm-hmm. These are everyday, regular people.
Yes.
Right? And that's what gives me hope.
Yes.
There's still kindness, right? Every day I experience kindness from someone.
I've seen videos, and it brings tears to my eyes,
right.
because somebody will be like out on the street, and then somebody will come along and give them like $1,000 or something,
Right.
and
Right.
they just start crying themselves, and they're like, people like that exist.
Right, they do. Or, somebody who's working in a restaurant and they get like the big tips.
Yes.
Right? Not necessarily from celebrities.
That's right.
But just everyday people.
That's right, everyday people.
Who are just trying to lift them up.
Yes.
So, and that's why I have hope. And
Yes.
that's why I'm always going to have hope.
And that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yes.
But I knew she was going to say that.
Yeah, that's what he does. So thanks for joining us.
Thank
Come
you.
on over.
Yep.
And just remember, we're going to start to drop shows every other Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then stay tuned for our shorts, because we are doing the show a little bit different, in case you noticed.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still going to be coming back.
All right.
So stay tuned.
Love ya.
Thank you for watching Come On Over. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We drop new episodes Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, and make sure you're notified when we drop a short, a live, a video, or just something silly. Love ya!